the first musical I ever seen was In the Heights by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I remember being like, oh, that's my language. I speak in spoken word.
Hi, I'm Sarah Roden from Entertainment Weekly, and I am here with Dominique Fishback.
Hello, hi Sarah.
Hello. I want to know, when you were growing up, the things that you love, the things that you are a fan of, that you just were like, you saw or listened or whatever, and you were like, I love this. I am a stan for this thing.
Okay, so I love Lucy, and I thought, like, I want to be like her. She's beautiful. She's super silly. And I feel like I'm super silly. Okay, like somebody could be a star of a show and be silly and not like, sexy or whatever, even though I'm like a child. But I'm like, I feel like I connect more to her. I love New Girl. And then I read the show Bible and they said that she was like a modern day Lucille Ball. And I was like, well, that makes sense.
There you go.
I'm such a romantic. So I'm like, I love the Vampire Diaries. I still watch that on Netflix. I'm like, every time I'm feeling a little bit down, I just go back and rewatch the Vampire Diaries.
All right, so Stefan or
Damon, baby.
Okay.
Damon, I'm a Delana. But then I also love Klaus too. I actually have a cat and I named him Klaus.
When was the first time you watched something or even heard something, in your case, because you're a music person and a spoken word person, where you felt like that's me, where you felt like you were represented?
I will say, I had a hard time trying to find my place in musical theater because I didn't have a traditional singing voice, and indie artists wasn't a big thing when I was growing up. It wasn't like, oh, you heard different styles of voices. So I didn't know where I fit in, and so I started to think that there was no space for me on Broadway until I saw the first musical I ever seen was In the Heights by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I remember being like, oh, that's my language. I speak in spoken word. Oh, I remember having a crush on the Puerto Rican boy next door. You know what I'm saying? Like when I remember him like getting in trouble because he busted fire hydrants open, and like he did it to make me smile. So when I was watching In the Heights, I was like 15 or 16 or something, and I was like, oh wow, okay, so there is a space for me on Broadway, and this guy knows.
Feels so good, right?
It feels so good
when you finally see yourself and you're like, there I am. I can do it.
And the spoken word aspect of it. And now they're coming out with a movie, and I'm super excited. Anthony Ramos is my boy, so I'm really excited to see that one.
What have you been watching? What can you recommend? What have you been binging?
But I watched 13. I remember when 13 first came out. I didn't watch it. I couldn't watch it. I just finished writing. I just finished performing Subverted. Eric Garner had passed away, and Eric Garner was a part of my family.
Oh,
he was my cousin's father. So, and then Erica Garner ended up passing away. That's my cousin. So that was like really hard for me to even think about watching that stuff. So I kind of put it off and said, oh, I know. But then when I watched it, I was like, oh, I don't know, because it goes even deeper than what I could have like had the capacity to know. But so I've been staying away from TV in a way, but I've been playing piano, learning piano and taking singing classes and doing all of those things.
So like you're feeling creative, you're staying creative, which is a fantastic thing.
I was writing a novel during quarantine.
You're like making me tired just listening to you with all your youth and creativity.